ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਫੁੱਲ ਸਟਾਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ, ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ? ਹਰਨੂਰ ਕੌਰ ਪਤਾ?
नहीं पता नहीं।
ਕਿਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਸ ਐਨੀਬਡੀ ਐਲਸ ਯੂ ਨੋਸ? ਹਾਂਜੀ ਡੰਡੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਖੜੀ ਡੰਡੀ ਡੰਡੀ। ਸੋ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਬਲ ਡੰਡੀ ਆ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਸੋ ਦ ਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਫॉर ਦਿਸ, ਤਾਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵੀ ਗੋ ਟੂ ਮੀਨਿੰਗਸ ਆਫਟਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆ। ਇੱਕ ਨੋਟ ਕਰਿਓ, ਸਾਰੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਾਲ ਫੋਟੋ ਦੇਖੋ। Where it says Gur Prasad, the dandi is actually connected to the last. You see, we connected here. There's always in when you're writing normal Punjabi, there's only one dandi, yeah, one full stop on there. When you're writing Gurbani or in Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, there's always double. Does anybody know why? Why in Gurbani there's always two full stops, khadi dandiyan, and why in when we write in normal Punjabi we don't do that? But why did Guru Sahib on purpose use two? Anybody? Anybody in the other adults? Jaspreet Singh ji? No? Acha, okay. When you're writing the letter Rara, theek hai ji? So the word you koi word ya car, theek hai ji? Car likhya kakka kanna Rara, and if you got a khari dandi next to it, what could it be mistaken for? Mute yourself, you can speak.
Kag.
Kag, very good. It could be mistaken for a gagga. The Rara and the khari dandi could be mistaken for a gagga. किन्ने महाराज ने इसी फूल प्रूफ गुरबाणी बनाए, फिर कोई बंदा मिस्टेक विच ना रहे कदी। रारा ता डंडी इकट्ठे होण ते कोई बंदा गग्गा ना बना दे। So Guru Sahib always to make sure Sikh is 100% sure that this is a full stop and not a part of a letter. There were two khadi dandi. कितनी सोना मार के ना सोच समझ के गुरबाणी लिखी है ना। So these are very amazing things. And so if you notice, after Gur Prasad there's a full stop. Then you got the word, then the next likhya aya jap. The jap de hetha haga nu ki kende underneath the papa, what's that called?
Ankar.
Very good. On ankar, when you put the ankar at the end of the word, in particular this case in jap, that means it's the name of something. Anyone know in English what do you call when something's the name of something? In terms of grammar, what do you call that?
A proper noun.
Noun hunda hai, theek hai ji? Noun, the name of something. So this is a noun because it's the name of the Bani, as in like we have Ram Kali Mahalla Tija Anand. Anand there is actually name of the Bani, Anand Sahib. So this is the name of the Bani. So also ore aale dwale note karyo, there's a khadi dandi, there's a dandi before it, double dandi, meaning there's a full stop before jap and after as well, just to separate even further. And you can see the layout. Mool Mantar is always at the top, fair the rest, Aal Sat Jugal Sat, jire baki baaniya, that's all in flow, in kind of in one setting, and the Mool Mantar is always in a separate setting. So ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ knowledge ਵਾਸਤੇ, so ਇਹ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰੋ and pay attention to these small detail. Okay, moving on then. So this is a person called Kavi Santokh Singh, and he was a historian and a writer. And he collected lots of history of the Sikhs, and he wrote books such as Nanak Prakash, which this quote is from, and Suraj Prakash, which has his famous works. So in here he just writes, Par Brahm Bigse Sunat Mantar Deen Gur Hoye, Sri Nanak Taran Karyo Barn Sunav Soe At Mantar. Then he mentions the Mool Mantar. So he writes here, becoming pleased listening to Guru Nanak, Vaheguru, the Supreme Lord, in his Guru form, bestowed him the mantar, i.e. this teaching, or you could say this chant, fully embracing it. Guru Nanak preached it to others. Here is that mantar. So that's the mantar which the poet Kavi Santokh Singh also mentions. Moving on, this is Hanji Prabhuji. Prabhuji, when you speak?
On the last page, the yaya was cut out.
Yeah, that's just, you know, in some of the printing presses, they can't get the yaya for some reason. especially old books. So obviously the original, when Kavi Santokh Singh's written this, that's obviously in Lariwar, and it will be also handwritten. So this is just rewritten in another book. And I think a lot of the printing presses they sometimes miss that line in the but well noticed. So this is from Janam Sakhi. Janam Sakhi means that the stories of the lives of the gurus written by Shahid Bhai Mani Singh. And in here as well, you can see really nicely handwritten by Mani Singh ji. And it says, Ikko Ankar Satnam Karta Purk Nirpo Nirvair Akar Murt Ajuni Sepan Gur Prasad. And after that, then they start to mention the power of this particular line. Naam Sab Deva Da Dev Hai. This, the name of God is the divine of all divines. Koi Devi no Mananda hai. Some people try to please various god and goddesses. Koi Shivanu, koi Ganeshanu. Sometimes some people, they are trying to please other beings such as Shiv or Ganesh, the elephant god. Koi hor Devatayanu. Other people try to please other people, which they call gods. Guru ke Sikh Satnam nu aradhat hai, but the Sikhs of the Guru, they only worship the true name of God, the name of God which is eternal, eye of the one God. Jis karke sab vigr nash hunde han, because of which all problems they get got rid of. And then ore vich tate Satnam ka Mangala Charan aad rakhya gaya hai. For this reason, the Mangalachar aad rakhya gaya hai. Therefore, this reason, the Mangala, meaning the opening verse, has been kept at the beginning. So it's that's why Mani Singh ji mentioning how the Mangalacharan is always supposed to be at the beginning. This is handwritten Mool Mantars by some of the Guru Sahibans. So the first one is Guru Hargobind Sahib ji, which is the 6th Guru. Next one you see is by the 7th Guru, Shri Guru Har Rai Sahib. You see it's a really nice handwriting. The first pictures of Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj is handwritten, and these were their signatures. So when they would sign anything, this is how they sign. And the last one is of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. When we go to Harmandir Sahib Ji as well, this is above the door. Anyone know which side of Harmandir Sahib? Oh, boy, let me go back to that. What side of Harmandir Sahib that door was? Oh, let me just go back to that. What side of the door Harmandir Sahib that would be? Hanji. Anybody? Anyone know which side of Harmandir Sahib?
I think like jithe Akal Takht Sahib te jithe like siddha ja ke te jithe like main entrance tha.
No, this is Shri Darbar Sahib. So it's not Akal Takht Sahib, Shri Darbar Sahib ji. So when you go to do Matha Tek, so Darbar Sahib ki pauri, nahi ji har ki pauri dinni. So when you're coming in on the bridge and you're coming to wait to do Matha Tek, so you've done Matha Tek, you go inside Matha Tek le, theek hai ji. And as you're leaving out, you go in normal Sangat, they usually, you go left. And as you're going left, that door which you go through, if you look back, that is that door. So just a side Sangat, hopefully everybody kind of tell that now. So when this is from the time of Raja Ranjit Singh, that when he rebuilt or did the architect, did a lot of seva of Darbar Sahib, he kind of refurbished it, you can say. During that time, this is, you can see Ikko Ankar to Gur Prasad written there as well, in a really nice Lariwar handwriting as well. So that when you pay attention to these things, you can see, these very historical things, and I can see the handwriting and how much care the Guru Sikhs did in writing these things on Vani. So that's just a quick introduction. We're going to move on now. So I'm going to pick on some various individuals so that everybody gets a chance. So once I say your name, if you don't know the answer, no problem, nothing to worry about. Then you just get the pass, okay? That's no problem. Then I see who is So we start with the Sahaj Kaur. Sahaj Kaur In your own words, what would you think that the word, what does ek oankar mean?
One God.
Okay, thank you very much. ठीक है जी. Amitoj Singh, Satnam.
I don't know.
Okay, no problem. Okay, Harjas Kaur, Satnam.
Satnam, like only one name, like Satnam meaning like there's only one pure name of like the God.
Okay, well, thank you for your suggestion. Jap Kaur, Satnam.
Chant.
Gonna pass? Okay. Prabji Satnam.
Satanam. Basically, he is eternal forever.
ਉੱਚੀ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਪੁੱਤ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਘੱਟ ਸੁਣਦਾ.
The true Lord is eternal forever.
Acha, the true Lord is eternal forever. Okay. We're just doing a very basic translation. We're not going any very deep. ठीक है जी? So ek oankar, very good. Sahaj ko kehta there is one God. ਨਾਮ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ? ਜਗ ਜੈ ਜਗ ਕਾਰਨ ਸਿੰਘ. ਨਾ ਹੀ ਬੜਾ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਹੈ, ਜੈ ਜਗ ਕਾਰਨ ਸਿੰਘ. ਹਾਂਜੀ, what does name mean? ਨਾਮ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਨਾਮ ਕੀ ਆ?
ਜੈ ਜੈ ਕਾਰਨ ਸਿੰਘ.
What does the word naam mean? When someone says, what is your naam?
Name.
Name.
So,
name. So Satnam, a usual basic translation. I'm not saying this is the translation. It's a translation just for us to work with, okay? So I'm not saying this is the translation. It's a translation. So Satnam, thank you, Tavleen Kaur, his name is true. That God's name, Vaheguruji's name is true. ठीक है जी. Next one, अच्छा एक तो मैंने बंदे ही बड़े घट दिसते हैं, बंदे हैगे ज्यादा वीडियो च घट बंदे दिसते हैं. अच्छा हाँ हुण ज्यादा दिसन लग पे आ बड़े. अच्छा सारे पता नहीं कित्थे गए सी. अच्छा जगदीप कौर, तेजवीर सिंह करता पुरख तेजवीर सिंह पता?
वो करने वाला है.
वो करने वाला है. So in normal basic English he is the creator. ठीक है जी, creator है. Okay, next one is Nirpal. अच्छा ਹੁਣ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਬੰਦੇ ਗਿਣਵੇਂ ਹੀ ਦਿਸਦੇ ਆ, ਬਾਕੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਗਏ ਆ? ਬੰਦੇ ਜਿਸ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਦਿਸਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਹੈ ਬੰਦੇ ਤੋਂ. ਚਲੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਲੱਭਦਾ ਪਿਆ. ਹਰਜੀ ਕੌਰ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੋਲੋ. ਨਿਰਭਉ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ?
No fear.
ਹਾਂਜੀ, no fear. ਨਿਰਵੈਰ, ਜਾਪ ਕੌਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ he is not scared of anything. ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ. ਮਨਰਾਜ ਸਿੰਘ, ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਬੋਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਰਹੀ, ਸਟ੍ਰੈਚਿੰਗ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ. ਅੱਛਾ ਇਦਾਂ no enemies. ਪ੍ਰਭ ਜੀ, ਹਰ ਜੀ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ. ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਚੈਟ ਬਾਕਸ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵਿੱਚ ਥੋੜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਦਿਸਦੇ ਆ, ਤਾਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਚ ਲਿਖੋ. ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ. what does ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ mean? Akal Murat. He has no form, immortal without form. No hatred the picture hai gaya Bhai Sahib ji. No nirvair reh gaya. Theek hai ji. Akal means timeless. Murat means image. In this sense, it means existence. Yeah. Or you can see me. This is my image. That means I exist. This is my existence. So Vaheguruji's existence is beyond time. Okay. Sabang. If you type in your chat box, Sabang. Self-created, he is not born, cannot be dead, he is beyond birth, death.
Self-existence.
Acha, Ajuni karna si, sorry. Ajuni. So Ajuni is beyond the birth cycle. Sabang, self-existent. The Gurprasad.
By Guru's wish.
ठीक है जी. Okay, ਹੁਣ ਨੇ ਸਾਰੇ mute ਹੋ ਜਾਓ. Now we just what we're going to do is now the learning part. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go through each part of a basic translation of the Mool Mantar, And with each part, we're going to see what we can learn from it. Remember, our main objective is not just say, Ek Oankar, there is one God. We want to go a bit beyond that. How does that affect me? What can I learn from that? How can I bring Ek Oankar into my life? How can I start to think using Ek Oankar? Yeah? How can I make my life more beautiful with the teachings of Ek Oankar? So it's just not just remembering the translation. So I'm going to do the first one as a model kind of thing. So what I would like you to do, and then I'll have volunteers to see whether you can do the rest. Gurbani tells us, "Har jan aisa chahiye jaisa har hi hoye." Je tusi Rab nu milna chaਹੁੰਦੇ, if you wish to meet Vaheguru Ji, if you want to become absorbed in Vaheguru Ji, you have to become like Vaheguru Ji. So to become like Vaheguru Ji, we need to know what Vaheguru Ji is like. And that's what Mool Mantar tells us. So it's very important that what Mool Mantar tells about Vaheguru Ji, we have to become like that. If Vaheguru Ji, for example, in Gurbani is described, he's kind, then we have to become kind if we truly expect that we are the sons and daughters of Vaheguru Ji, and we want to meet Vaheguru Ji, and we want to go to Sachkhand. So, the first one I'm going to do, and then if you pay attention, and then I will have volunteers to do the next lines, okay? So, Ek Oankar, there is one God. So the key part I'm just going to highlight is the one. The key message is one, which is made in red. So if God is one, what do I now learn? What do I take from there? Because God is one, we should see one in everybody. Because that God is one, we should only worship one God. We only always worship Vaheguru Ji. Other than Vaheguru, we never bow our head to anybody else, and we never worship anybody else. God is one, and so it's very important to see the one God spirit within us, and that's why we do Simran and Nityanim. God is one, and that's why to experience Ek Oankar, whenever you go to a Gurdwara Sahib, you always have langar. Everybody, rich, poor, whether you're a Sikh, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, everybody sits together and they have food together, and that represents to seeing oneness in everybody. We all sit on the floor to show we are all humbled and we all want to experience Ek Oankar. When you sit in the Darbar Sahib and everybody's given prasad, is given equally to recognize the oneness, the oneness made us, and that we are all linked by that oneness. So this is Ek Oankar. Can you see, if somebody asks you, can you tell me more about your Sikhi? We are Sikhs, we do not cut our hair, and we are from Punjab. That's sometimes what most people end up saying. How if we use Mool Mantar is a really nice way of explaining to somebody the real, core beliefs of Sikhi. Okay, so that's just a bit about Ek Oankar. Next, I would like somebody to try Satnam. So if God is one, this is what I learned from me. That's how Sikhs put it into their life. Truth is his name. If God's name is truth, what does that mean for a Sikh? Okay, so any volunteers?
We should only say,
Singh Ji, Amatod Singh Ji, Hanji. So if you go.
Lies, we should only tell the truth.
Very nice. If Vaheguru is truth, then we should always speak the truth and not lie. Can you see, is that we're learning from this? Okay. And somebody's put something in the chat box. So if anybody else wants to suggest anything in the chat box, if you just write your answers, never lie. Okay. Can you see, it's very practical now. We're taking it very practically. Ek Oankar, to see oneness in everybody. Somebody's fat, somebody is slim, still seeing them, that they're all made by Ek Oankar, that there's still a oneness, we're all linked together. Now we're doing Satnam, about speaking the truth. So if God is truth, then can you see that we can't cheat? Cheating is lying. We have to be speak the truth, and also we have to be truthful. How can I become truthful? Because where does the Vaheguru Ji live? Outside of this creation, what is the place called where Vaheguru Ji, Gurbani says Vaheguru Ji lives outside the creation? If you write it down. Anyone know what is the place outside of the creation not inside the creation, outside the creation, which you can call is Vaheguru Ji's house, or where the place Vaheguru Ji is. Gurbani Japji, very good. Har Barak in Sachkhand. Sachkhand Vasendarankar, Kar Vikhan Rahal. So if we want to go to Sachkhand, the house of truth, the place of truth, Guru Nanak says we have to become truthful. Can you see? There's a link there. You can't go to the house of truth and be not truthful. So part of that is that I can't lie, you have to be truthful. And that means that as a Sikh, I have to do Kirtakamai. What does Kirtakamai mean? If you type in the answer, Kirtakamai, actually, let's make that a bit more defined. Dharamadi Kirtakamai. What a matlab ki, if you type in your answers, Dharamadi Kirtakamai. What does that mean? Are people typing? Hanji, Jagdeep Kaur Tejbir Singh, honest living in the name of God, honest earning. Righteous, doing the right, honest living. Some people sell alcohol. Some people sell tobacco, cigarettes. And we all know that cigarettes actually kill people. They give cancer. We all know alcohol actually kills people. It destroys brain cells. It ruins people's liver. It ruins relationships. It ruins people financially. And it's just really toxic thing for people in breaks families. It makes people depressed and so on. Now somebody says, look, I work honestly. If the alcohol bottle is $2, I sell it for $2. I don't cheat. If the tobacco is for $10, I sell it for $10. I don't cheat. I'm very honest. So for them, they say, I'm making a living. I'm not cheating. I'm not lying, and I am actually, being very honest and sincere, and they think this is okay. But when we say Dharamadi Kirtakamai, it means what is right. Even though you're not lying, you're being very honest and probably fair in the way you're selling tobacco, cigarettes, or even somebody who might be selling drugs. Is it right? And how do you know what's right and what's wrong? We have to ask Guru.
Are you helping somebody?
These things are not good.
Like it depends on like if you're like helping something helping someone, or like if you're like actually like destroying it.
Very good. So for this reason, Kirtakamai, selling cigarettes and alcohol, or having a butcher shop and selling dead animals, murdering animals, selling them, would not be considered as Kirtakamai. Doing fraud would not be considered as Kirtakamai. So moving on. So that was Satanam. So we've got roughly about 10 minutes or so. Socially useful work, okay? Sargun Jot Kaur Panji said. So all kam karna where we can socially help people, okay? So moving on now is Karta Purkha. Vaheguru is the creator. So we have a different person. If someone wants to volunteer to do Karta Har Barak Singh Ji.
Anji, I'm the creator of all, like he's the creator.
So if he is the creator, what can I learn from that? What does that tell us about how Sikh should live, how I should live?
Yeah, Guruji created everything, so if you destroy his creation, then that's just not like not the right thing to do.
Okay, so let's go a bit more deeper. How would we destroy the creation?
Maybe by just hurting it, like physically, verbally, and like in all those ways.
Okay, what I'd like, thank you very much, Harbhara Singh. Everybody, I would like you to write in your chat box what you think, Karta Purkh, how that can be practically, what we can learn from that. How can that be shown in our lives, or how is that shown in the life of a Sikh? Karta Purkh, okay? So if you all type your answer, keep it short and sweet, and let's see what answer. So some people already started typing. Prabhajeevan Singh, Jap, Harkor, don't waste resources. I being environmentally friendly, I'm saying. Cutting trees, Jap Kor, okay? So again, being environmentally friendly. Pollution, again, environmentally friendly. Okay, that's Karta Purkh. Any last answers? I think Tejbir Kurshi writing. Yeah. Appreciate his work. Okay, Amator Singh. So we should appreciate the creator. If he's created something, appreciate. I think we're going in a direction which I want to explore further. Sahaj and Tajinder, don't hurt living things like flowers. Okay. Care for animals, caring for others' life. Okay. So, like I said, this is a presentation which I usually use when going to talk about Sikhi in schools to non-Sikhs. So usually I would go through the Mool Mantar. This is what our teachings about Vaheguruji is, and this is how we show it into our lives. Okay. So Harjas ko last one I'll read is, God has created the entire universe, we should respect his creations. Okay, let's go on a bit more. So one is in respecting the environment. So as a Sikh, if Vaheguru is Karta Purkh, we should be creative, not destructive. The Sikh's nature, a Sikh's personality should be creative, not destructive. So we are there to look after the creation, not to destroy it. We've already mentioned that in the environment. Now, part of that, we could talk about the Char Bajjar Kreta, or the 4 main things which you are not supposed to do as a Sikh, which when we do these things, that we would have to retake Amrit and ask forgiveness from the Panch Pyare. So, if Vaheguruji is the creator, then we celebrate the creation, we appreciate the creation. Pure ka kiya sab kich pura. The perfect one has made everything perfect. That he has not made anything too less or too much more. So Vaheguruji has given us case on our head, and whether it's Singh on our face. And so this case is linked into Karta Purkh, living in the image of Vaheguruji, celebrating the creation, and this adds to our holiness, Karta Purkh. The next one, of Karta Purkh, because of Karta Purkh, if God is the creator, we are not destroyers. To purposefully, knowingly go and cause somebody or something suffering unnecessarily, unnecessary suffering to somebody or something is against Sikhi, because Vaheguruji is Karta Purkh. So we have a cruelty-free, healthy and environmentally friendly diet, because we are against animal cruelty, because Vaheguruji is Karta Purkh. So we don't purposefully, unnecessarily cause suffering or pain to others. Next would be that we do not tamaku vartana, i.e. tobacco, and that includes all drugs, alcohol. As a Sikh, because Vaheguruji is Karta Purkh, a Sikh does not smoke, a Sikh does not drink alcohol, a Sikh does not even go and sit near these things. Tamaku wale the hatho khana, to eat even food from somebody who smokes tobacco, is considered a grave sin in Sikhi. Why? Because these things destroy lives. These things destroy people's health. These things destroy societies. So Guruji told us to keep way, way away from these things. Karta Purkh, he is the creator, be creative, not destructive. The last Bajjar Krayat is that we don't have girlfriend or boyfriend. We do not, outside of marriage, have any relationships which you are not treating the other person as your brother or sister, as a mother or father respect, or as a son or daughter respect. You are going beyond that, and you're flirting with somebody, or you are having a relationship with somebody, and this is also against Sikhi. Now, how does that link into Karta Purkh? Vaheguruji is the creator. We should become creative. As a Sikh, we should not be destructive. Now, when people get into relationships before marriage or outside of marriage, they're actually destroying people's lives. They are messing with people's lives. And when you're destroying people's lives, you're destroying people's hearts. You're causing either your wife hurt, you're causing your mom and dad hurt, you're causing other people hurt, you're causing Guru hurt. So this is destructive. And eventually people get diseases when they're having all these relationships. Oh yeah, have one girlfriend, then you move on to somebody else and so on. All of these things lead to diseases, they lead to heartbreak, and they lead to even people get mentally upset, meaning they get stressed, they start, getting emotional, they become emotionally sometimes, unstable, or emotionally they become a wreck, because their mind and heart and hormones are all over the place. So this is Karta Purkh. Hopefully you can see what we're doing here. Now, next one is Nirpo. So anybody who hasn't already spoken would like to do Nirpo. Any suggestion? No? Acheda karo. If you can all write Nirpal, please, in your chat box. If Vaheguru is Nirpal, Vaheguru is without fear, what should that mean about me or you or Sikhs as a whole? Okay, fearless, there is no fear. So as a Sikh, we should not fear anybody either. Very good, we should be courageous. Very good. So when we talk about Nirpal, the first I think of is Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, how fearless he was that he gave his life for human rights. Can you imagine, we're talking to a non-Sikh, might be to a Gora school or at work, we want to tell them more about Sikhi. And we're just going through the Mool Mantar and we're saying that Vaheguru is Nirpal and our Gurus were also Nirpal because they were Vaheguru Ji in the human body come to teach us. And they taught us to be Nirpal as well, to be fearless, to stand up for others. So as Sikhs, we stand up, we're not scared to stand up for others, protecting others. We don't bully people, we stand up to bullies. And as Sikhs, we've gone through horrendous tortures, but the Sikhs were always fearless. And how were they fearless? Because they meditated on the fearless one. When we meditate and we remember the fearless one, we become like the fearless one. So the Sikhs were sawn alive, they were boiled alive, they were burnt alive. And throughout history, Sikhs have been fearless in standing up against others to free women, not sing about women, not to dance with women, but to free women, to go there and protect women and treat them as our sisters and take them back home with the full safety. So that is Nirpal. So Sarganjot Kaur Ji, full of life, good energy, self-belief. Amatod, stop what is wrong. Harjas ko stand up what is right and wrongdoings. Be brave enough to do that. Very good. Amatod saying we become who we accompany. So if you very nice, Amatod, very nice. If we always keep in the sangat of the fearless one, on the sangat of Gurbani, in the sangat of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, the sangat of Vaheguru Ji, we will become fearless as well. Very nice. So the next one is Nirvair. So what does that mean for a Sikh? What does it mean for me and you? If you type your answers in the chat box, please. Evelyn, we know that Vaheguru doesn't hate anybody, but what does that mean about me and you, about my life and your life, about the life of Sikhs? That a Sikh should have no enemies. We should not hate anybody. So we should, okay. Okay, we should be spreading love. Brilliant. Prabhu Jeevan Singh and Jap Harkor, we should help everybody. We shouldn't gossip or hate on others. Harbar is saying, brilliant. If Vaheguru is Nirvair, Vair means animosity, Vair means hatred. When you're doing things which creates hatred, which is based on hatred. But Vaheguru's not got hatred, and you only hate the other. A mother will not hate her own children because the children are part of her. She gave birth to them. She might not like the things they do, and she might even shout at them and sometimes even give them a clip around the ear. But the mother will always love them, and she will hate the things her children do, but she doesn't actually hate her children. If you go back to it, Konkar, if we have all come from the one, why would Vaheguru Ji hate any of us? Because we're all his children. And then why would we want to hate somebody else? If we see the one, Ikwankar and everybody, we would hate the things people do. We can hate the things people say, but we don't hate the person. Yeah, there's a big difference between hating something someone's done and hating the person. So part of Nirvair is that Sikhs have always protect and served others. We protect others because we're against hatred. We serve others to get rid of hatred. Okay? So, and a key example of this, if you type in your chat box the name of the person in this picture, let's see who knows it first. Who's the first person to write who this is? Well done, Japji Singh, you're the first person. First people to write, Bhai Kanhaiya Ji and everybody else. Tika Ji. Oda Kanhaiya Kagge de naal hai, is probably GH, but Tika Oda Kanhaiya Ke de naal hi likha hunda hai. So Bhai Kanhaiya Ji, everybody blows the Sakhi, the story of Bhai Kanhaiya Ji, when he's giving water to everybody after the battle. The Sikhs complain, why are you giving water? That he's giving water to the enemy. The people are coming to kill the Sikhs, that he's giving water to them. And when the Sikhs to tell Maharaj that he's helping those who are coming to kill us. Bhai Kanhaiya ji is asked to come and see the Guru, and the Sikhs are there, Guruji is there. Guruji asked Bhai Kanhaiya ji, is it true that you have given water to the enemy? Everybody write in your answer box, what was the answer to Bhai Kanhaiya ji when he was asked, have you given water to the enemy? Yes? Okay.
He said yes, and then he said,
Well, actually, Bhai Kanhaiya ji said no. I'm not giving water to the enemy. So they said, well, hold on. These Sikhs can't be lying. The Bhai Kanhaiya ji, you can't be lying. Did you give water? I gave water, but not to the enemy. Who did he give water to? Very good. I gave no enemy. He just saw humans. He saw the Guru in everybody. So this is basically nirvair to its ultimate stage, where you see beyond somebody's faults, you look beyond somebody's evil actions, and you see the humanity and you look after them. So I work in a prison service. So I work with people who have killed people, murderers, and I also sadly work with people who have abused and given harm to children, pedophiles, or basically they're being rapists and so on. So people have not done very nice things. But my job is to look beyond their mistakes, look beyond their crimes, and to treat them as a human being and to see if they're still okay as a human being. A doctor in prison looks beyond their crime, not saying that what they've done is okay or anything like that. That's not for me. That's the judges made that. I'm just there to help them emotionally. The doctor is there to help them physically, to make sure that if they've got any problem physically, that he'll give them medicine. So this is what Sikhi teaches us, to look beyond other people's faults, nirvair. In Ardas, there's a word. Anyone know what the word in the second paragraph of the Ardas is, where it mentions we should overlook? Basically, I'm seeing somebody's faults and I'm going to close my eyes to somebody's faults, because I'm still going to give you langar, even though that you might do wrong things outside of the Gurdwara. Even though you might be smoking outside, but when you come in the Gurdwara, I'm not going to look at your faults. I'm going to still serve you langar. So when you close your eyes, overlook somebody's mistakes. In the Ardas, that's mentioned in the second paragraph. I'll give you a clue. It's Era Nanna. Anyone know what?
Era Rana.
Nana, sorry. Era Nana. Sorry. Anji. Era Nana. Undit. Very good. Undit karna is to overlook. And that's a brilliant example of Bhai Kanhaiya ji. Other examples is this a really nice picture I found of where this is in the Punjab, occupied by India, that side. So this is West Punjab, where Sikhs have decided to help the few Muslims in the village make a masjid, make a mosque, a place of worship. And they're not going to go, oh yeah, but you destroyed our Gurdwara in Pakistan, we're going to do this when in 1947. It's not, oh yeah, but your people did this to our gurus and so on. No, they're looking beyond this, seeing somebody as a human being. That, hold on, we're all human beings, and that's how. And you can see that's a really nice example of Andit Karna, of nirvair. So apna mere khana time ho gaya hai. So I think we're going to probably end with that. So hopefully that's kind of giving you some ideas. So as it was mentioned last week, I would like everybody, where possible, who is participating, if you've got a book, and if you write the Mool Mantar on the first page of this book, in Lariwal, would be awesome. So joint up writing. And on the next page, if you can have notes of what certain words mean, if necessary. And then what I would like you just to do is carry on and write your reflections, like we've just gone through today, and just summarize your reflections of what we can learn. So, for example, I'm going to write Ik Onkar Satnam Karta Purkh Nirpo Nirvair Akal Murta Juni Sepam Gur Prasad, one page. Next page, I'm going to then write what I've learned. So what I've learned, that we should only worship the one God. We should never, other than Vaheguruji, surrender our lives or follow anybody else. Ik Onkar, we should see Vaheguruji's light within all. Satnam, that we should be truthful, we should not cheat, we should not lie, we should have truthful, and our earnings should be correct. Now, most of you go to school, so your kirta kamai is what you do at school. So when you say work honestly, have an honest livelihood, for children who are at school or college, your livelihood, being honest, is being sincere at school, working the best you can at school, not being lazy, doing your homework, you know, being very respectful to your teachers. And that's your Tarandi Kirt Kamai when you're not working as a physical job. So that's your homework. And then we'll, next week, we'll start with the thoughts of all the Sangat, okay? Okay, so any last questions from anybody? Now people can just open with their last minute or so, where anybody's got any questions, or before we say Fateh. Anybody, any comments or any questions? We can, no? Actually, we've got a thumbs up from Tableen. Okay, so very good. Manraj, are you stretching, or you want to say something?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, very good. So if today everything has made sense so far, if you just put a thumbs up in the chat box, so we know that everybody's on board. If anybody feels that, hold on, perhaps I'm a bit confused about anything, then don't do the thumbs up. And I don't know if you can do a thumbs like that. I don't know if you can do a thumb like that. That's sideways, meaning like I'm unsure. Oh, well, somebody's doing a thumbs up, or you can do it on. Acha, okay, that's good. Those people who I can see. Kirat Kaur and Sirat Kaur, are you okay? Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. Okay, well, what we're going to do then, please make sure you write what we've just basically said. They're just some ideas. There's an A translation and an explanation. It's not the explanation, the translation. So what we'd like is put your personal thoughts of what we've discussed today, and you can add your own kind of thing. And if you write that down, and then I'm going to pick people next week at the start, and then we'll start with that, okay? So, bahut dhanwad. I think Bhai Jaspreet Singh ji, and if the Sevadar is going to make an announcement, then I will say Fateh from myself here. Now, so Paul ji khima karniya, parnaku Vaheguru ji ka khalsa.
जी फतेह धन्नवाद भाई साहब जी सारे बच्चों ਨੂੰ ਇਹੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਾਏ ਜਪਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਡਾਇਰੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਾ ਲਓ ਜੀ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਲਾਈਫ ਲੌਂਗ ਟ੍ਰੈਜਰ ਬਣ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਇੱਕ ਤੇ ਯੂ ਵਿਲ ਫੀਲ ਮੋਰ ਕਨੈਕਟਡ ਟੂ ਜਪਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸੋ ਇਹੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਵਿਲ ਸੀ ਯੂ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਵੀਕ ਦੈਨ
ਜੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ